past. And quite a few things have come from that. So I think, remember that out of sight is out of mind, but, like sending an email or a text is already putting you higher in that person's list of players, So it doesn't take much to like just be nice to people and just like actually try to like have relationship with people, like when I reached out to these people, it wasn't just because I was trying to get work. It's because I genuinely like them and enjoy working with them. And, like, I think that's a big part of this, like it doesn't matter if you're the best engineer in the world. If you're a dick, no one's going to want to hang out with you. But you can just be like a normal, like a decent engineer, but you're like the best hang ever. And people are going to keep calling you for that. So just be nice to people, which is something I learned from people that I saw being dicks to their clients. So I was just like, I don't get it. Like who would want to work like this?
Wow.
But yeah, other than that, I honestly, I don't know. I feel like when I started doing this, like I was definitely more like a shy person, like I wouldn't just go out to like talk to people and all that. That came with the years of like moving to different places and doing that. And it's funny because that's something that now I'm telling my kid now. As a kid, you can tell that he's definitely a little bit shy. I'd be like, like, which I definitely stole this from some movie or some show. I don't know where I took it from, but it's like telling my kid all these phrases that you get from like superhero movies and you just own them, But I think I don't remember what it was, but it was just like, just 20 seconds of being brave and talking to someone can lead to something very special, I tell him that when he's like trying to play with other kids or something like that, but I also apply it to myself. Like if I see someone, like I go to this amazing show, maybe when I started going out to shows, like I would be shy about like talking to like the band after, And as with time, as you do it, it's like, like what's the worst that can happen? Like maybe you start a friendship, you start a good like working relationship, but if you don't do anything, then definitely nothing's going to happen. So I don't know, just putting yourself out there and just working hard is what's worked for me.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. I feel like it's such an inspiration just to like the way you emailed, Esperanza and just be like, hey, like, I'd love to work with you. I'm here. Like, and now you've been working with her for, I think you said 4 records.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like literally because you sent an email, you've been like working with, a true artist for multiple records and going front of house and like, the proof is in the pudding, right? Like you did that and it worked for you. And I think that's definitely a takeaway for me and for everybody listening. I think to don't be afraid to put yourself out there and like you said, like you had a previous connection. You knew it wouldn't be a weird email. Like it's not like out of the blue.
Well, and it wasn't an email just saying like, hey, if you ever need something right away, like I was actually asking legit questions about these people's lives. Like, how are you doing? Like, while we were working together, we had some like real life conversations. So just remembering these things and just kind of like bringing them up. Because, it's not just about work. Like you want to create that connection. At the end, that's what music is like. You're trying to make a connection between your listener and your artist and your story. And that translates into the process, at least to me as well. You're trying to create these real life connections,
Yeah, exactly. It's like music is our common language with everybody. And the relationships are important and they matter. And, this is like, I told you, this has been like my biggest takeaway from doing a podcast. It's just building relationships with people. It's just amazing to meet people and to like, in my own little way, finding a way to meet people and just connecting.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
It's inspirational and, keeps me going. So I definitely relate to that. So yeah, that's a great lesson for the audience. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, Fern, what's the best way to find you on the internet?
I'm not big into social media, but I have Instagram. It's just Fern in the studio. And other than that, my website is just fernandolodeiro.com. And there's ways to contact me through either of those. I do check those.
Amazing. So I will definitely...
I have a Twitter that I don't ever use. I have a TikTok that I don't ever use. I have Facebook that I use to remember people's birthdays and say happy birthday, And that's about it. So... yeah, definitely email or Instagram are the best ways.
Good for you for staying off of those platforms.
I'd have to, man. I've watched too much Black Mirror, man.
Absolutely. Well, I will definitely share links to those sites and people go check you out and listen to some of the music that you've been working on over the past many years and hopefully more to come. Yeah, thanks so much for taking the time to do this. Really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. It's been really fun, man.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Secret Sonics. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Fernando as much as I did. If you enjoyed this episode or any of our other episodes, I'd super appreciate it if you would go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating and review. It really helps the show. And if you could share this episode or your favorite episode with a friend or two, that would also really help the show move forward. In addition to that, you can find us on social media. Just search for Secret Sonics. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. And you can email me at secretsonics@gmail.com if you have any comments, feedback, guests you might want to recommend, anything like that. So that's about it for now. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great week. Stay safe out there and dig in. Bye-bye.